This morning, Quebec's Court of Appeal ruled that the province's assisted dying law is valid. Quebec is the only province that has a law allowing a doctor to help end the life of a terminally ill patient. It was passed in June of 2014. It took effect just 12 days ago. But a group of doctors and advocates for the disabled went to court to ask for an injunction. They argued the law clashes with the federal law and said it promotes euthanasia when what Quebecers really need is better palliative care. This morning, the Quebec Court of Appeal ruled the law can remain in effect. Dr. Paul Saba led the fight and promises to take Quebec to court again.
It really doesn't provide any protection for people when they're sick and when they need good care.
The Quebec government says the law was written after years of consultations with Quebecers.
It's patient-centered, and we believe in this province that society has evolved to a point where those patients, the citizens, have the right to choose.
Quebec hospitals must provide the service, but individual Quebec doctors can refuse to help a patient die. However, they must find a colleague willing to perform the procedure. In order to be eligible for medically assisted dying, patients must meet strict criteria and undergo an assessment by 2 doctors. This Quebec politician who spearheaded the legislation says it's full of checks and balances.
We're really seen as a leader. Other provinces, even the federal government, are really consulting with Quebec, looking very seriously at our legislation.
Meanwhile, the clock is ticking for the federal government. Last February, the Supreme Court struck down the law banning doctor-assisted suicide. It gave Ottawa a year to come up with a new law. The Trudeau government has asked for a 6-month extension. The Canadian Medical Association supports that request.
We want to make sure that we have federal rules and guidelines so that physicians from coast to coast in Canada understand exactly what rules they'll be following.
The federal government will make a case for an extension at the Supreme Court next month. The Prime Minister has said his government will draw inspiration from Quebec as it drafts a new law. Wendy.
Thanks, Julie. Julie Van Duzen in Ottawa tonight.